I'd like to call the regular council meeting for the town of Bay-Westfield on Monday, March 23rd, 2026 to order at 7:01 p.m. We respectfully acknowledge that Bay-Westfield exists on the traditional Volstookwe land. The lands of Wabanaki people are recognized in a series of peace and friendship treaties to establish an ongoing relationship of peace, friendship, and mutual respect between equal nations. The river that runs by our town is known as Wolastook, along which live the Wolastookwe, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. We, the staff and elected representatives, pay respect to the elders, past and present, and descendants of this land. A good evening, everyone. Before we begin our regular business, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge something important for communities across New Brunswick. Today marks the opening of nominations for the upcoming local government elections. And this is a significant moment in the life of any community because local government is where decisions are made closest to home about the services our people rely on every single day, the growth of our communities, and the future that we're all building together. If you've ever thought about serving your community, now is the time to consider putting your name forward. Being part of local government is extremely meaningful work. It's not always easy, but it's incredibly important, and it offers a real opportunity to make a difference in the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. I also want to take a moment to recognize and thank those who have already served and those who may be considering stepping up, because strong communities depend on people who are willing to get involved. And with that, I'm looking forward to continuing our work together this evening. Thank you. Item 4, record of attendance. We have our regrets from Councillor Day this evening, but we have everyone else in attendance. Item 5, agenda approval. The motion is that the Council of the Town of Bay-Westfield approve the agenda for the meeting of March 23rd, 2026. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bellman, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Balcom. Questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion is carried. Thank you. Disclosure of conflict of interest. Are there any? There being none, we'll move on to item 7, public hearings, presentations, delegations, petitions. 7A, we have a Sergeant Conley here today with our RCMP Quarter 3 report. Welcome, Sergeant.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you for having me once again. A little saddened that maybe it won't be the exact same council that I've become accustomed to. Had an amazing job, amazing time collaborating and working together. So, but always excited for the future. So, seems like you have a really long agenda today. I could be wrong, but I will try to keep it brief here today. So, I'll take you right to the RSC report to start. This is quarter 3 for RSC 9. Just a few things to highlight for you today. We'll jump right to page 7, if that's okay with you, Your Worship, and look right at what's affecting Bay-Westfield in general. So non-criminal files still tend to be the majority of our police work, or percentage-wise at least, of the calls that come in, which we do appreciate there. Property crimes staying fairly consistent, maybe a few points higher than last few months, but this is based on the fall warm months as well. So, and other than that, nothing overly remarkable. Seems to be consistent. So, the one thing that they did just mention at our monthly operations meeting was the amount of traffic enforcement's gone up substantially in the last couple of years, and it does seem like overall property crimes going down. So I don't know if there's a causation with that or just a simple correlation, but hopefully so. And there's also been some work on curfew checks with habitual offenders or party offenders, that as well. So page number 12, just highlight that quickly, that we're not really seeing dots on our map here of where the tickets and warnings are being done in the Bay-Westfield area. It's kind of just a blob of data at this point. So it was good to see, and they really lines up beautifully as well with page 13, where most of the accidents are happening. And thank you, and thankfully no fatal collisions in your area as well, but there was one in the RSC. Page 14, the quarterly report for the Operation Communication Center. First time since I've been in front of you that we can report numbers under 2 minutes all around, so I'm happy to see that. Ideally, I'd like to see no wait time, but if we can keep it under 2, it'll be very welcome by myself at least. So 911 calls are obviously different and much more immediate, but still we want people that are faced with a little less urgent things, but still important nonetheless to get on the phone with a real person quickly. So a little bit of, hopefully we don't see it as bad news, but hopefully the rumors didn't get back to you before I was able to tell you, but I have been stretched a little across a couple different detachments recently. Hampton and Sussex has been amazing with helping us out from time to time, so I have been taking over the role of sergeant in Sussex just temporarily right now too. So I am doing about 2 days a week there, but trying to still provide 100% attention to both. So they lost their sergeant to promotion, but we are trying to fill it. It's already been advertised, and hopefully fill that right away. So I did agree to stop in there, just especially with the year end and stuff, just to have a sergeant in place for a little bit of continuity. So the mayor there passed on that he thinks you guys should buy bikes or something. Electric bikes wasn't on my radar, but he thought it was good for Grand Bay, so he wanted me to know that, mayor. I'm not sure why. But maybe there are some people that look good in bike shorts here in Grand Bay. So we'll see. But anyway, it's a very, very short time, and I believe I can handle both, but you will not lose any of my attention, I promise. So, the fiscal year's ending. We have a planning exercise coming up. Very excited for that. Really hoping for some good ideas to come out of that, some good priorities. I want it to be community-driven, of course, and not bottom-looking down. And I don't think it's good for the RCP to saying what we should be doing in Grand Bay. We really want to hear some stuff from you. So if we can, more we can have meaningful there, the best. And I'll just give a very quick year summary, because our year is coming to a quick end here in about a week, our fiscal year. So happy to report that we set very ambitious goals for the detachment this year, and we are going to meet all of them, I hope. There's one left, and it's some new sergeant thought it was a good idea to set his goal 300% higher on the traffic initiative than 2 years ago. So I was hoping for 60 contacts, warnings, tickets. It didn't matter as long as people are learning. And we're 60 short of the 2,000 right now, but I think we're still going to get it in the seven days we have left. But the check stops, the school zones completely surpassed, community contacts surpassed. We hope for 8 fraud presentations this year. We did 8. More impaired drivers than we expected. Hope to see the schools 25 times and make sure the kids know who we are and that we're here to help and we're friendly. We're at 43 so far. So, but it's easy to go when the kids actually like us. So it's good. So, and and we've been continuing partnership and talking more and more often with JPS about ATVs, whatnot. We've had some luck. We have some. Tickets on the way just this week for someone going down the road on their back tire, driving dangerously. So, and a lot of that comes just people willing to report or police officers off duty taking a picture or two and linking it back to who it is. So, yeah, we're doing our best in that regard, and still some to go. And the last thing, good news story to report on. We've sent a few of our officers over to play some hockey there in Hampton, and they were able to raise just shy of $20,000 for pro kids, and no fights with the fire department this year. So I'm happy to report that as well. So I think that's all I had. And like I said, I know you have a busy meeting, but I'm happy to answer any questions if that's okay with you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll open the floor to questions from council. Deputy Mayor Toole, and then Councillor Burby.
I just have a quick, you mentioned the public session. When is that? Do you have that date set, or the session about priorities and?
Oh, it's not public. It's something that we sent out invites to the mayors and the RC and the CAOs and stuff like that. So
it's the one that we can be invited
yes.
to here.
That went out to all council.
Perfect.
So you should have it in here.
But it was okay. Just want to make sure so we can talk to people and compile.
Oh, absolutely. And last year when I went, I thought it was a great initiative, but and actually it's not something I've seen in other divisions. I think it's good, but this year going into it, I think I really get the spirit behind it, and I'm excited for it. So.
Councillor Murphy?
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Sergeant, for your presentation. I appreciate the consistency every time. I know exactly where to look and what to look for. My question is regarding your comment on tickets for four-wheelers who are maybe stunting, we'll call it. So is that enough, a picture of somebody, you know, for you to give a ticket?
It very well could be a picture and a statement could be very well enough. And the last one, I was the complainant myself, happened to see something, but and that's what I did for the constable that was working that day. I gave him the pictures and the statement, and it is enough. So I have to be willing to testify, which I am, but it can be for sure. So a picture in the dark with a black shadow going by, probably not, but yeah, depending on the quality. So absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other, Councillor Bellman?
Did you win a hockey game or?
They did win the hockey
Yeah,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
I've heard a Russell come the other day, they're about speeding on Woolstick Drive from the school down to the post office. Is there a way to maybe ignore that there, a chance, or?
Yeah, the school zone in particular is one of our priority areas, and
I felt like about 80 kilometers an hour and I go down past the school zone to get to the post office or the sharp turn.
yeah, that's
Scared the seniors back in their driveways, they might get hit by a car, going too fast.
yeah, I appreciate that information.
That's all I heard, but everybody else was happy, so.
Okay, good,
Thank you.
good. We'll take it.
Any other questions from council? That was a great report, Sergeant. You know, I have to say that you really have listened to the will of council, particularly with that community engagement piece. You know, hearing the number of times you've been at the schools. I know the local businesses know who the members are, when before that wasn't necessarily the case. You know, the enforcement on intoxicated drivers, and you know, hopefully we'll get that down to there being no DUIs, but it's great data, and really appreciate the report, so thank you for that.
Thank you, Your Worship.
And thank you for joining us this evening.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Have a good, productive meeting.
Thank you. So the motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield receive and file the information as presented. Do I have a mover? Deputy Mayor Toole, thank you, and a seconder, Councillor McIntosh. Questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item 8, minutes of previous meeting. 8A, regular meeting of council, February 9th, 2026. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield adopt the minutes of the regular meeting of February 9th, 2026 as presented. And do I have a mover for that? Councillor Bellman, seconder, Councillor Murphy. Any questions or comments on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you very much. Item 9, unfinished business, RVMS Demonym recommendation. I'll pass it over to the CEO.
Thank you, Your Worship. After a very good presentation by the 2 grade 6 social studies classes, gave us a lot to think about. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like the naming contest that we did for governance reform. That's really something that comes from the municipality, from the people, from the community. It doesn't necessarily come from council. So we're don't mean to disappoint the class by selecting a winner, but rather turning it back over to them to see what they can accomplish through their efforts in an organic way, rather than having council decree something. So we're just recommending that the mayor write a letter of gratitude for their thoughtfulness and their initiative, and that they be encouraged to continue to be involved in the community, and if they have a preference, maybe have their own contest on social media or something. But really, this is something that has to come from the ground up.
Thank you. I'll read up the motion and open the floor. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield direct the mayor to send a letter of appreciation to Mr. Gary Lee and his grade 6 social studies classes for their thoughtfulness and initiative. Further, that the students be encouraged to continue their Demonym initiative organically through our community. Do I have a mover for that?
So moved.
Councillor Balcom, seconded by Councillor Bellman. Any questions or comments on the motion? Councillor Bellman?
They found out Bay-Westfield is the best name, I assume. So maybe that could be a new school name. If it is.
questions or comments on the motion? I just want to make a comment before we go to a vote that I really appreciated the work that went into this, both by Mr. Lee and the kids involved. It was really wonderful thing to be a participant in terms of being able to go to their class and hear their perspectives and answer their questions. And I hope that they continue with this kind of activity because it will serve them well in the future. So, if there are no other questions or comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item 10, bylaws, 10A, clean fill bylaw, third reading. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield proceed with the third reading and enactment of bylaw PW-003, third reading by title, bylaw PW-003, clean fill. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor McIntosh Lawrence, seconder, and Deputy Mayor Toole. John, do you want to speak to this at all?
Yeah, I'll provide a bit of oversight, and if the Public Works Director wants to speak to it, he can. Just basically, we're anticipating more and more development, and there's going to be fill that's created, and we just want to be able to manage it effectively. We have land that we want to repurpose, and it's better for our ratepayers, if we have clean fill. We just want to define what that is. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Thank you. Any questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you, John and Kristen, for your work on that. 11, new business recommendations. 11A, stormwater management plan. I'll pass this over to you, John.
Thank you, Your Worship. Before I turn it over to our Public Works Director, this is a project in Macon. Council recalls almost a year ago we got guidelines to provide to developers on overland drainage and stormwater management. This is one of the better plans that both the Public Works Director and I have received, and I'll just give him the privilege of telling you a little bit more about it.
Thanks, John. Council, Your Worship. So Jen was able to put together a stormwater management plan for the town. They accumulated all of our stormwater assets in inventory. What they did is they used that and created somewhat of a model where we could identify areas that could cause potential flooding or problems in the future. So what that identified was it was able to help us prepare and plan for future upgrades or maintenance, and kind of gives us a plan to move forward, I guess, a direction. So.
One of the immediate outcomes for the new council will be a culvert policy or policy. Just under what circumstances will change culverts out and what sizes we may go to. This bylaw and this plan is really difficult against 13 basketballs in a culvert that causes flooding. I don't know if council remembers that problem we had, but we do reminders now. Please pick up your balls and stuff like that. But anyway, so this is one of the better plans we've seen, and looking forward to having the new council present it and allocate money to investing in its implementation.
Thanks, John. I'll read the motion and open the floor. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield accept the stormwater management plan and refer it to the next council for budget deliberation. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Berkeley, seconded by Councillor McIntosh Lawrence. Any questions or comments on the motion? Deputy Mayor Toole?
A quick comment, I really like this, it reminds me of when, I guess, years ago when we first started, we saw like the road plan, you go through and you have, everything's mapped out and there's a plan behind it, and it really helps manage everything. I love this seems to be one of the main issues, is flooding and drainage, so yeah, I was really happy to see this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion is carried. Thank you, council. Yeah, this is something that I've been looking forward to with the more frequent, more intense rain events that we've been getting. it's time that we had a plan like this so that we can, plan our capital expenditures, 5, 10, 15 years down the road. So thank you for that. 11B, Public Works Garage. I will pass this over to the CAO.
I think we got lucky, your worship. We had 6 tenders on the project. 3 were under the estimate that we were thinking of, 3 came over. The one that is successful has previous working relationship with the architects. The architects are very comfortable with them. And the savings is only about 4.5%. 300,000 sounds like a lot of money, but on the overall cost of the project, it's not very much. So what we're going to be able to do, assuming that the cost holds steady once construction starts, we'll be able to provide asphalt around the whole site. We'll be able to put in cold storage space. And I've forgotten the third thing.
Windows inside.
We can put extra windows over the workbenches so that there's natural light that's dissipated throughout the entire building. Is there anything you want to add?
No, that's leave it.
We were very nervous, and I think we shared this with council more than once, that it wasn't going to come in on budget. And in fact, I think the last time I gave council an update, I cautioned you that we may not get the price we want here, but we were very fortunate.
Thank you. Don't actually have a written motion here. What would you suggest?
That the council of the town of Bay-Westfield authorize administration to enter a contract with Mapleton Construction for the construction of the new public works garage.
Thank you. Do we have?
Hang on, I'm sorry. The amazing thing about having a great team, award to Mapleton Construction in the amount of $4,294,000 plus HST. Should the town desire the separate price items, this would add $232,950 plus HST to this amount for a total of $4,526,950 plus HST.
Thank you. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Billman, seconded by Councillor Balcom. Thank you. Any questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you, Council. 11C, wastewater lagoon curtain replacement tendering process. John, I'll pass that over to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Council recalls, I think this came to our attention the day of the budget presentation, that we found an issue with the curtain. And I think we just verbally warned council that we don't know if we can make it the whole year with the current curtain. Turns out we can't. So we're asking that we take, I think it's $140,000 out of reserves to pay for this. And I'll ask our Public Works Director to speak to the details.
Thank you, Council Worship. So it's identified while we're repairing the fuses that there was an issue with curtain 1, so the curtain that separates cell 1 and cell 2. What's happening is the wastewater is bypassing. There's a small section where it has failed and the water is bypassing. So what this does is it reduces the retention time. So we're looking to replace that curtain. It's part of a modeling project where we're getting the consultants to model the lagoon so we can establish a new location for the curtain so that in the future, if there are upgrades required to increase capacity, that the lagoon curtain is at the appropriate location and doesn't have to be moved. So this is planned for the future, but also works for the present.
Thank you. Okay, I'll read out the motion and open the floor to questions. The motion is that the Council of the Town of Bay-Westfield authorize administration to purchase and install a new lagoon curtain not to exceed $140,000. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor McIntosh Lawrence, second by Councillor Burke. Any questions or comments on the motion?
Comment, Your Worship. I'm very pleased that staff are positive and planning for our future expansion and capacity. So it's a great time, great decision.
Yeah, thank you for that comment, Councillor. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion is carried, and in my opinion, this decision shows how important it is to have reserves for both our capital and our sewerage utility. So otherwise, we would have not been able to manage this in the way that we just did. Okay. So the next item is 11D, tandem plow truck replacement 2027, and again, I'll pass this over to the CAO.
Before I turn it over to the Public Works Director, basically, there's a long lead time to purchase trucks. And so even though this is restricting what the new council can do, if we want the new truck in time, we have to place the order now, so we need council's permission that it will be included in the next budget. Is there anything you want to add, Chris, about the need for the truck?
No, so we're replacing an existing truck, it's an existing tandem, it's reached its end of life. The plan is to replace it in 27, as our CEO mentioned, that if the town would like to procure the truck for early 27, it has to go out for tender now. This will give enough time for suppliers to submit proposals and also build the truck.
Thank you. Okay, the motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield authorize administration to include the replacement of one tandem plow truck in the 2027 capital budget and to proceed with procurement. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bellman, thank you. Do I have a second? Councillor Burpee, thank you. Any questions or comments? Councillor Bellman?
We need trucks. So we need trucks to plow the road and fix our roads, so it's a good investment.
Great, thank you, Councillor. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion is carried, thank you. 11E, Centrum Scope and Green Municipal Fund, GMF, and I'll pass it over to the CAO.
Thank you, Your Worship. The mayor asked us to look at using money from the Green Municipal Fund to help with the remediation of the Centrum. In looking at it, staff and the consultant didn't really think that there was value. We would have to expand the scope of the project. Right now, it's very narrow. It's limited to the envelopes. So that's the cladding, insulation, windows and doors. That's it for cladding, right? And if we were to go to the Green Municipal Fund, they would look at other factors. Because they want to look at how do we comply with some environmental aspirations. And if we did that, it would cost more money. And if we just went with the Green Municipal Fund's funding formula of 80% loan and 20% grant, the difference is about $1,000 between what we would pay ourselves and then what the 80% loan figure would be, and then that 20% would go to other stuff. And when we looked at that, my memory's a little foggy right now, but you're looking at upgrading the zone, the building code, because electricians have told us if we do more work, we're going to have to comply with the new code, not the old code. There's the HVAC system, and there's other things that would skyrocket the price. So we just want to confirm that council wants us to just keep the scope tight and limited, both for financial reasons and utilization of the building.
Thank you, John. And I'll just speak to this too. I just wanted to make sure that we were taking a look at any possible funding opportunity. And if there was an opportunity for us to realize savings in energy, as an example, over the next 10 or 15 years because of energy efficient retrofits, that we were making sure that we looked at all of those opportunities. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield receive and file the report. A mover, thank you, Deputy Mayor Toole, seconder, Councillor McIntosh Lawrence. Any questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you very much. 11F, sale of 2017 Ford Explorer. John?
I'm going to turn this over to the chief, your worship, but I think this is a case where everybody wins, so to speak. Chief?
Thank you, Your Worship, members of council. So this report is basically suggesting that when this vehicle is considered surplus after arrival of the new one, how we best dispose of it. It outlines 4 options. We're recommending the option of selling it to another local government at a green flat price. The Wellsford Volunteer Fire Department, which has been an amazing partner to our department, has provided us support many times. We try to see this as a great way to return a favor, to provide them something that they need at a fair price for everyone. And that price has been outlined in the motion for your consideration.
Thank you. All right, the motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield approve the sale of the Fire Rescue Department's 2017 Ford Explorer to the Wellsford Fire Department for a price of $17,000, with the sale to take place prior to December 31st, 2026. Do I have a mover? Councillor Balfour, thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bellmans. Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Motion is carried. Thank you, council. Happy to support our neighboring department. 11G, MOU St. John Aerial Apparatus, Grand Bay-Westfield Training Facility. John?
Thank you, your worship. Before I turn it over to the chief, the Common Council of St. John approved this at their most recent meeting. No, nothing was changed in it. Chief, you want to just provide a bit of an update on this?
Sure. So the general premise of the MOU is that in exchange for them providing us aerial apparatus service on relatively rare or relatively flat out rare occasions, we will provide them access to our training facility. This is definitely a win-win for both organizations, and will also, during those training events when they're out here, provide some opportunities for departments to work together a little bit more, and therefore kind of learn each other's methods and stuff, and of course bring that service to the town, especially in the new development that's taking place on Colonel East Boulevard, and with larger buildings so that may require an aerial service.
Thank you, Chief. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield authorize the mayor and CAO to sign the memorandum of understanding between the town of Grand Bay-Westfield and the city of St. John for the provision of aerial apparatus response services. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bellmans, thank you, and a second, Deputy Mayor Toole. Any questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor? Contrary minded? Motion is carried. Thank you, and I want to specifically thank Mayor Reardon and Deputy Mayor McKenzie for supporting this application, and of course the Common Council of the City of St. John for also passing that through their council. So thank you to all of them. 11H, Community Wildfire Resiliency Plan. John?
Thank you, your worship. Again, before I turn it over to the chief, this is an initiative of the province to help communities become more resilient with wildfire. A little more than 100 years ago, there's significant wildfire that ripped through Westfield, and then in the last couple of seasons, there's been some larger fires in New Brunswick. I'll turn it over to the chief for some comments about the plan.
Thank you. So as the CAO mentioned, the threat of wildfire is increasing, not decreasing. We don't have a massive history of it. With that said, there are things that are changing and they're making that risk significantly higher. So this plan was completed through 100% funding through the province and their Fire Smart program. And it's actually an excellent plan. It's a very long plan, so it takes a little bit of time to read. But it has a lot of really good information. All the recommendations in it make basically complete sense, and they're reasonable. And the best part is they include lots of options on where to obtain funding for those, so it's not necessarily always going to be a cost. Much like the stormwater plan, the recommendation here is that this council accept the plan, receive and file it basically for adoption by the next council, because they're the ones that we need to make any potential budgeting considerations. And then the only final thing I would add is a lot of the recommendations in it are things that we can actually do in probably would be doing regardless of adoption of this plan, training, some of the PPE that's required. We've actually already been working on those things. So really adopting this plan tonight or adopting this plan in 3 months isn't really gonna change the timelines of any actions that we take.
Thank you, Chief. The motion is that the Council of the Town of Grand Bay-Westfield accept the Community Wildfire Resiliency Plan and refer it to the next council for budget deliberation. Do I have a mover? Deputy Mayor Toole, thank you. Do I have a second? Councillor Bellmans. Any questions or comments on the plan? See any? I do have one, Chief, if that's okay. And mind you, like, we had over 1,000 pages to read, so if what I'm asking is in that plan, feel free to tell me. I was looking through some of the vulnerable facilities in the town and that were specifically singled out. They talked about Murray Street Lodge, they talked about the Kiwanis Lodge. But I was curious that Inglewood School wasn't on that list, given its restricted access and its proximity to woodlands. Is there a specific reason that they didn't include that, or?
Nothing, they do reference the schools,
Yeah,
so
but they didn't actually
yeah, they didn't
say,
put them in the same high category as they did.
yeah,
I can check back with them. One thing I should have added or included in my comments was when this comes back to the new council later in the spring, the TSI will be available to present and answer questions as well, but I will pose that question to them. My guess is that because schools are typically empty during a lot of the peak wildfire season, and maybe they brought it down to the medium instead of high risk, but I can certainly clarify that.
thank you. Yeah, my specific concern, because they had referenced the difficulty of evacuating maybe people in Murray Street Lodge because of their mobility issues, but my concern is that that's proximity to the woodland, but that really limited entrance and egress in the case of of emergency. So thank you very much, and I loved the list of fire resistant plants that people can use choose to plant around our house instead of the ones that are more flammable. I thought the plan was very, very interesting, usable, and the fire smart all of the fire smart material that came along with it was really great.
And that would be another action we'll be taking right away is promoting all of them.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you for that. All in favor? Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you. 11I, appointments to the Planning Advisory Committee. John?
Thank you, Worship. Before I turn it over to our building inspector and development officer, the reason that we have two people that we're recommending rather than one is my understanding in talking with our counselor on the PAC is that there's been the occasions where they've had trouble getting quorum. And we're allowed up to 15. I'm not suggesting we get up to 15, but a little bit more comfort, if I can use that word, so that it's less challenging to get to quorum. And then I'll turn it over now to the building inspector and development officer.
Thank you, Your Worship Council. So at the end of 2025, we did receive notification that one of our members was not going to be offered, so we had that posting. And then recently we received two applications, and that's when we evaluated and thought it would be a good idea to take both applicants.
Thank you. I'll read the motion and open the floor. The motion is the Council of the Town of Grand Bay-Westfield appoint James Fougere and Brian Boudreau under Section 5, Bracket 2 of the Community Planning Act 2017, C19, as members of the Planning Advisory Committee for a 3-year term effective April 1st, 2026 until January 1st, 2029. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bellman, thank you. Do I have a second? Okay, Assurance. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion is carried. Congratulations to Mr. Boudreau, Mr. Fougere, and thank you in advance for your service to the town. Move on to item 12, bills for payment. And the motion is that the Council of the Town of Grand Bay-Westfield authorize the March 23rd, 2026 bills for payment as presented in the amount of $617,864.33. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Murphy, seconded by Deputy Mayor Toole. Any questions or comments on the motion? Councillor McIntosh Laurie.
I have a comment and a question. First, my comment is about, we all, are wondering about the roads and why it's so expensive to look after the roads. And just in February, we paid $125,000 just for salt. So that's really eye-opening. I know it's paid at the end of the year, but still, I'm sure it's more than that just for salt for the year. So that gives a little bit of perspective on why it's so expensive. My question is, I'm wondering what the Memory Cafe kickoff is.
So that's a program that our Community Development Recreation have implemented, and I'll let the director speak to it.
Thank you. So it's a new program that's been set up through our recreation program coordinator at Alzheimer's, New Brunswick. So they're trying to expand into communities throughout the province. We were one of their first identified because we worked with some of their other employees on presentations to our age-friendly community. And so they started last month with their first session. It'll be various types of programs set up for all community members. It's not focused entirely on seniors, but partners of people with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. And so we will do stuff that is social, related to music or art. We'll also do information sharing sessions, speaker series, a combination of those. So we're starting monthly to see if we can grow that community. And then the plan is to then go bi-weekly and eventually weekly. And we're going to make sure that we're out spaces available to them as they hopefully grow that program.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the motion? There being none, all in favor? Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item 13, consent agenda. 13A, letter Fundy Regional Service Commission application to Municipal Capital Borrowing Board. B, letter GNB restrictions on powers of outgoing council. C, letter call for nominations 2026 New Brunswick Human Rights Awards. D, email resident communication Reed Dog Park. E, UMNB memo member support property tax bills. F, YMCA community impact. G, animal control report February 2026. H, building report February 2026. I, fire rescue department monthly report January 2026. J, fire rescue department monthly report February 2026. K, council salary market survey. The motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield receive and file the consent agenda items for March 23rd, 2026. Do I have a mover? Councillor Murphy, do I have a second? Deputy Mayor Toole, thank you. Any questions or comments on the motion? There being none, yes, John?
Sorry, Worship. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware, those who are watching, that another municipality did a survey of council remuneration. And I'm just happy to say that we're almost in the sweet spot. We're not too much, we're not too low. And I just think it'd be good to reassure people that council is paid for.
Thank you. All in favor? Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item 14, everybody's favorite, council. Start with Councillor Bailmans.
Hello. I had a appropriate meeting on March 5th, and the meeting, 3 new people joined the advisory committee.
Councillor Bell.
On February 16th, I attended the family day at the Westfield Golf Club. I don't know if I took that the last meeting or not, but I checked my calendar. February 25th, I had a TD station board meeting. March the 10th, attended with other councillors the official recognition of the provincial funding for the new lighting at Unity Park. And on March 16th, I attended well-attended PAC.
That's good. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Your Worship. So February 12th, I attended the information session at the Church of the Resurrection regarding the wellness care facility at Carter's Point. Listened to the concerns of the residents regarding that, and the information was communicated on on behalf of the Vaughn's Care Facility. So there was a lot of back and forth, but it was very informative. February 16th, Family Day at the golf course. It was really good weather and really fun, and probably one of the biggest turnouts, well, definitely the biggest turnout since I've been on council. So that was a fun day. Then February 21st, we had Winterfest at Four Corners. The Youth Council helped out with the jelly bean contest. February 22nd, I attended, as well as the mayor and Councillor McIntosh North, the Chinese New Year at the Imperial, which was fantastic. The March 3rd CBC meeting discussing upcoming Easter events. March 10th, the announcement at Unity Park regarding our new lighting. March 15th, a very long meeting with Westfield District Rec Association regarding a whole bunch of things and plans and exciting stuff coming up. And they also appointed a new board member, Pierre Lonis. And I just want to mention that this Saturday, Westfield and District Association partnering with Community Vitality Committee for the Candy Trail at Lone Water Farm from 1 to 3. So that's exciting, and that's all for me.
Thank you. Councillor McIntosh North.
Thank you. On February 10th, I attended the monthly RBCC meeting. We discussed the Rock the Rink event, and I think they're gonna put out a survey as to when people would like to do that. And also that facility has been there 30 years this year. So they're gonna try to have a 30-year celebration for that. So look for those announcements. February 16th, I also attended the Family Day event, and it was by far the most successful event I think we've had. And I think the partnership with the MB Social Pediatrics played a major role in that. February 21st, I attended the Winterfest at Four Corners. February 22nd, I also attended the Chinese New Year at Imperial. It was my first time attending that event. It was amazing. March 3rd, I had a monthly UMMB Health Committee meeting. Talked about just the wait times at hospitals, no beds, and where the need for nursing homes in the province. Also that night, I was the Community Vitality Committee where we discussed Easter plans. March 10th, I also attended the provincial announcement for the lighting at Unity Park. March 17th, Councillor Berkeley and I, as well as some staff, attended a presentation from Shades of Green on mitigating flooding and erosion using plants and grasses native to the area. So that was quite interesting. We also talked about the greenery for the upcoming summer. March 18th, Councillor Berkeley and another community vitality member, we were here making Easter treats for the upcoming Saturday event. And lastly today, I dropped off my nomination papers at the returning office. So looking forward to that.
Thank you, Councillor. Deputy Mayor Toole.
I hate going after these two. It makes me feel lazy, but I did Family Day as well, which was great, and it was fantastic. I think the partnership did do a huge boost, which was nice, and there was a goat there, which was really cool. And the Community Vitality Committee meeting is another one. And this is kind of a weird one, but I've had 2 people come up to me in the past week saying that there's something just as a PSA, it's a good thing, but just to let people know that the turkeys are back out in full force because of spring, and there have been 2 traffic jams on the main road, so just people to keep an eye out for those guys, because somebody was very concerned when they stopped me yesterday morning that they thought they were almost hit by a car. But anyway, the turkeys are out in the spring, so that's the PSA.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Toole. So yeah, it's been busy too. I mean, I attended a lot of the same things that the councillors did, so I'll try not to repeat those. But I can't help but repeat the Family Day success, and I have to thank the Community Vitality Committee, everybody at MB Social and Pediatrics, our amazing staff for making that come together the way that it did. It was a really wonderful day, and we also have to thank Mother Nature because the weather really was perfect for that. It was really wonderful. I spent a full day out at the New Hampton Summit Center for the Regional Service Commission Board Planning Day. I attended the Bobby's Hospice dinner, which was, it's always special, but this year was particularly special because it was honoring Monsignor Brian Sheehan, who is a longtime resident of Grand Bay-Westfield and has done a lot of really wonderful things in the community, not just for Bobby's Hospice, but just generally. So it was a real pleasure to be able to be there to honor Monsignor Sheehan. I went to the Shrove Tuesday dinner at the Church of the Resurrection. Yes, and that was good. There are other counselors there as well. That's always a treat because the pancakes are sort of a harbinger of spring, but they're delicious at the same time, and they're served by all kinds of the church family kids, and it's really a great time. I went to the grand opening of the Greater St. John Newcomer Centre Community Hub, and that's a great resource for newcomers to the region to be able to connect with each other, connect with services, and all of those kinds of things. I chaired the UMNB Board of Directors meeting a few weeks ago, and then representing the Union Municipalities of New Brunswick, I went to Newfoundland for the FCM, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities meeting. I attended last week the announcement in Fredericton for the Build Canada Homes deal between the province and the federal government, and we'll be working on making sure some of those affordable units come to Grand Bay-Westfield. So that's it for me. Then we have item 15, business arising from committee of the whole. There being none, we'll move on to item 16, adjournment, and the motion is that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield adjourn the meeting at 7:52 p.m. Do I have a mover? Councilor McIntosh Lawrence. Do I have a seconder? Councilor Murphy. All in favor? Contrary minded? That motion is carried. Thank you, everybody.